What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Sunday Summary. I'm your host, Kyle, and it is just me today, unfortunately. But, guys, that's fine. We're going to get into it. Liverpool officially break the early kickoff curse at the weekend against Wolves. And we're going to chat about the match. But first off, always, good morning to everyone in the chat. Can Kiwi, Liz, Hannah, Oswald, Mom, good morning. Good to see you. How's everyone doing in the chat? Andy Robertson, man, captain in the club and scoring in the same day. You got to love it. But let's start from the very beginning, right? Actually, no. I'm just going to sum up the whole game first. First half was atrocious. Only standout in the first half was Jarrell Kwanzaa. Incredible. Incredible from Jarrell Kwanzaa. I mean, really not what I was expecting. Very mature, very aware, very quick, very good with his feet also. And that's what I wanted to see from his debut. So that's the first thing. He looked really incredible. But let's just go all the way back to McAllister's yellow card that was given. Okay? As I take a sip. Oyvind, good morning. All right. McAllister was given a yellow card early on. The main problem I have with this yellow card is the actual physical contact made. The intent was clear. Trying to pull him back. I can't remember if it was Cunha. I think it was Mateus Cunha. Pulled him back. But the fact of the matter is that McAllister barely touched him. Barely touched him. So it was clear to see the yellow was given for the intent and not the actual act. My problem is you cannot give a yellow for intent, in my opinion. Have they done it before? Absolutely. Right? Could you give a red card for someone going up and just trying to kick someone in the face and missing? Sure, you totally could. But I guess my point is that he barely touched him and a yellow was given. Give the foul. That's fine. Mateus Cunha, toughen up. All right. But he goes down and immediately it's a yellow. It's a quick yellow. It's here, yellow card. I just don't agree with that. Rob, what's going on? Change guidance. Mora, good morning to everybody. To me, that bothered me. That really bothered me. So that's the first thing. What do you guys think about the yellow card? I know good morning to Oyvind. Oyvind says it's not a deserved yellow. Dad, good morning. How's everyone doing? Let's go talk back to Kwanzaa here with Hannah. I've loved what I've seen from Kwanzaa so far, and it's always great to see an academy prospect coming up through the ranks. And I agree 100%. There was one play that stood out to me in particular. It was in the second half. There was a ball into the box, and Kwanzaa shielded off. God, who was it? I can't remember who it was, but he shields him off with his arm and dives and heads it away clear. Perfect clearance. Body mechanics were there. And it just impressed me. It just really genuinely impressed me how good this kid played. And there was that one. There was a point in the first half where he's kind of just like playing around with the ball, like dribbling it backwards. I was just like, this kid, I don't know why he just looks so good. He looks so confident at his age. So, yeah. Liz says, I think the yellow was fair. Okay. Oyvind says, it's way easier for the refs to just give out a yellow every time. They don't need to use their brain so often. What else we got? Sir Oswald says, the refs hate Liverpool. Maka was also get a huge fine. His family will be deported. A little aggressive there. Very aggressive. But, God, it just, I don't know, that bothered me. And again, it's not the foul because it's a foul. He tried to pull him back. He tried to stop the goal, so give him the foul, but it's not a yellow for me, especially not that early in the game. But it did deny at least a chance, so maybe that's why I understand it. And so speaking of chances, let's go forward to Wolves' goal. Neto's take on, kid's good. Kid's really good. That's the kind of game where I sit there and I'm thinking, is Klopp watching this guy and thinking, are we going to sign him? Neto takes on Matip or Gomez or someone. Made Gomez look like a child in the first half. Crosses it across the area. Allison can't get down to it. And who finishes that? Wang Hee-chan? First goal. Now, there were tons of chances that should have been goals. You know, Mateus Cunha missed the header. 100% should have been a goal. We looked awful in the first half. It was more so disorganized. I don't want to say we looked awful, but we were very disorganized. So many chances, and credit to Wolves, dude. Wolves played absolutely amazing in the first half. And then that second half rolled around. You know what happened. But let's give a quick shout out to Liz here. All right. 33 months. I think Liz and Tony and Oyvind are like the first channel members. And 33 months ago, it's hard to believe it was almost 3 years ago, Liz. Isn't that crazy? It's insane. So shout out to Liz. Thank you very much. And then, of course, my mother and father. Really, all of our channel members. We have a close enough knit family where you guys are all awesome. But it's just when you think about to the first ones, it's 33 months ago. It's crazy that that time went by like that. Oswald says, any theories why we start so badly too often? We're not warm? I don't know. I really don't know. Well, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because we ended up pulling out the 3 points. We're third in the table, 2 points off top. And this has happened earlier in the season. Who was it against where at halftime we turned it around? I can't remember. I can't remember who it was against. But it's not a good thing that we start off like that, because when you go against big teams, important games, they're not going to let you back in the second half. They're going to expect you to fix it, and they're going to game plan for it. I feel like Wolves were actually more comfortable, or not comfortable, more surprised. They were very surprised to have the lead going into halftime. And coming out in the second half, I just don't think they were expecting us to play the way we did. And we came out in that second half with just absolute determination. Like, the commentator said it best. I love that he said this, like smelling blood. That's exactly how we came out in the second half. We played like I know we can, and everybody did. Luis Diaz, introducing him was excellent. Not exactly sure why he didn't start. Maybe you guys know better than I do. I was not expecting Diogo Jota to start on the wing, although Diogo Jota had a nice layoff for Gakpo's goal. I think that the 5 substitution thing and the way Klopp is using Darwin Nunez as a super sub is working. I still don't know why we're starting off so poorly, because when you look at the second half, Liverpool played absolutely incredible from start to finish in the second half. Energy, intensity. I mean, hell, I'm looking at the stats right now, and Liverpool had 66% possession. Okay, now, granted, Wolves really pressed and played on the counterattack, but it was actually a fairly even match. But when you look at the second half was more like 75 Liverpool. And that's what I expect to see from our club. You know, Klopp said it earlier in the season. He was saying, or during preseason, he said, I want to be the team that's best in possession, that's best in counter pressing, that's best in set pieces, everything. He said he wants to be the best in everything. And the second half showed that we have the potential to be. And another thing I want to bring up, you know, well, I'll take my time. I like to, I tend to skip around, as you guys know. We talked about how Neto was great in the first half. I want to chat about Soboslai for a second. But before I do, let's go over to the chat. Got some new people tuning in. Change Guidance here. Oh, Newcastle. Thanks, guys. That's who it was. Aaron T says Thiago's been underwhelming. Yeah, you don't say. The dude hasn't been available. Guidance here says picking McAllister a couple of days after playing a match at altitude didn't make sense. See where your head's at. Endo boss versus Germany and sat on bench. Hey, we pulled out the result. A better team might punish us. It's kind of what I was getting at here. Is the fact that when you go up against the cities, Arsenals, teams like that, hell, Tottenham starting well this season. We're not going to get that opportunity. Now we probably maybe that's why Klopp started McAllister. Maybe that's why he started Kwanzaa. Could have started Kanate, but he didn't. He knew Wolves are struggling, right? Didn't look like they were struggling in that first half though. I mean, damn, that Bellegar dude, that kid had one of the best debuts I've ever seen. He was great yesterday. All right. Maybe be a little more clinical, but that is exactly what I want to see from a debutante. Is that the right word? Debutante? It's got to be. For a debut. The energy that kid brought was like, I have something to prove. And that's the attitude you need. I mean, that kid, phenomenal. So I get what you're saying, change guidance here. Oyvind says if those teams take their chances, they can kill the game in 30 minutes. And that's the problem we run into. Is you can't start the game like that and then go down and play from behind. It's exhausting and stressful. It's not a good way to play. When you're so used to playing from behind, then it becomes a habit. Then you're looking to get behind every game because that's the only way you know how to play. You got to play on the front foot. And McAllister, Gary, what's up, man? I know Liverpool are certainly in the conversation. And he was off yesterday, Can Kiwi, because he gave the ball away like 3 separate times. He didn't seem right, and that's probably why he was subbed off at halftime. And that leads me into my next thing, where to talk about Soboslai. I'm not saying anything new. You guys all know this. Soboslai is a just proper athlete. The guy is one of the smoothest midfielders I've seen. Like everything. The way he switches play, he just makes it look easy. There's no effort. There's no hesitation. And for him to just drop back into the 6 and play from the 6, creating, he was directing traffic like it was natural for him. And everything flowed through him. The guy is incredible. And he's slowly becoming my favorite player. It was Gakpo for a while. Ever since we got Gakpo, it was Gakpo. And even I just think Soboslai is miles ahead of the midfielders we have at the moment. Not saying that we have bad midfielders. Obviously, you guys know that. But when you watch Soboslai, compare him to anyone else when they have the ball. His body language is just like, I know what I'm going to do. I know when to do it. I know how to do it. And I'm going to make it look easy. He switches play like Trent switches play, but arguably makes it look easier. I mean, he's that good with his feet. He's so fast and energetic. I mean, his take-ons, his tackles, his defensive work rate, everything about Soboslai is what we've been looking for in a midfielder. I mean, and the fact that he's 22 or maybe he's 23 now is remarkable. He's so good. He is so good. We're very fortunate to have him. All right, and it's the eye test for me. A lot of people will look at the stat sheet, right? You look at like players like De Bruyne, and you look at the stat sheet with De Bruyne and his assists and things like that. And I'm not looking at that with Soboslai. If you watch the game, if you watch him play, you know what I'm talking about. You know that this guy is just talented. It's purely instinct with him. He was born to play this sport, and he's good at it. And the best part, he's 22 or 23, whatever. He was born to play the sport. He's so smooth. It is watching him as a pleasure. So that's what I got to say about that. Oyvind says we can absolutely blame the break for yesterday, but we can have a lot of those first halves. And so that's, to my understanding, that's why Klopp didn't start, Diaz and all these different players because they were coming back from high altitude or long trips. But, if that's the case, why start McAllister? Why not start Endo? Like Change was saying. Why not? He's definitely smarter than I am when it comes to making team decisions, but I don't know. It's just Monday morning quarterbacking is probably the easiest thing to do. But at the time, I think he was probably like, I can't do this with Endo. I think I need McAllister in that 6. And Aaron, you're absolutely right. He was pulling the strings at DM. I mean, when he was on the ball, he was turning and looking. He wasn't playing with his back to goal. He was turning and looking. He was like, let's make something happen. He was directing traffic as he's dribbling. And that's what I want to see. He's so good. He's just such a talented player. Gary says one would play Gromberg in the 6 with McAllister left side at 8. Oh, yeah, Doug. Congratulations to Doug here. Almost a dad. So, preemptive congratulations, Doug. Dave's in here too, man. Legends in here. Sir Oswald says Elliot looked lively. And guys, can I talk about this for a minute? It's funny. I would talk about this anyway if Steve was here, but I just got to talk about this. Elliot yesterday is what I expect from Elliot every week. You made your Premier League debut at 16 years old. How old is he now? 20? 19, 20? I haven't necessarily seen any progression from him. You're still super young. But yesterday, what I saw from Elliot, that's what I need to see every week. In your cameos, I don't care if you come on for 10 minutes. I don't care if you come on for 30 minutes. I don't care if you start. I need that every week, every game. Good job to Elliot yesterday. The only criticism I have from him, I've become very critical of Elliot because I need to see progression. Okay? I need to see progression from these guys. Like Jarrell Kwanzaa, I'm expecting that performance every single time now. Now, if he has an off game, you're going to have off games. But Elliott, this season, I haven't been impressed. A lot of people have been. I haven't been impressed until yesterday. The only criticism I have, his first touch, he just dribbled to the sideline like he was nervous, didn't know what to do, passed it back, and gave the ball away. If you guys remember that. You can't do that at this level. Like, you have to be dialed in as soon as you're on the pitch and know what you're doing before you even get the ball. You have to. When he's in his position, which is right wing, or at the very least, like a right attacking mid, but a very forward right attacking mid, like a right forward almost, Elliott plays his best football. He is not a midfielder to me. And so I feel like he's not playing at his full potential because he's been put into this midfield role. But when he's wide, when he's up top, we can see what Elliott can do. He creates chances, he creates problems, but he's a direct dribbler. He's very quick with his feet, technical. Salah-like almost. Not as good as Salah, obviously, but very similar. But he doesn't have the ball control skills, I don't think, to play in the midfield and be a hold-up guy. That's the only thing I don't like about him being in the midfield. Like, he's not a Curtis Jones. Like, Curtis Jones can hold on to the ball. Elliott, he's either going forward, progressing the ball, or he's getting dispossessed. And that's a lot of pressure to put on a player where every time you get the ball, you need to run to keep it. Like, you have to be able to hold on to the ball if you're playing in midfield. That's the only thing for me. And is that down to Klopp? It's probably just down to Klopp knowing that this kid has the talent to play in the Premier League, but also not being able to play him on the wing because Salah's going to play all game, every game. He's like, kid, look, if you want to play, you're playing on a right-sided midfield three. And Elliott, rightly so, is going to say, yes, absolutely. I'll do my best. Okay. But if you played everyone in their position, we probably wouldn't have a team because everyone plays out of position a lot of the time. I mean, hell, look at Gakpo. Gakpo's been playing in midfield. So let's go back up here over to the chat. Harvey is Gary. I know everyone loves Harvey Elliott, as do I. I'm just very critical of him because to me, I've said it. I said it already. I just need to see the progression. Yesterday was great. I just need to see the progression from him. And Steve loves Harvey. Steve loves Harvey. That's funny. Nick Red says, I don't know why Klopp loves Curtis Jones so much. He's not contributing in the mid. So here's where my argument kind of drifts a little bit. I think Curtis Jones passes the eye test for me. Very skilled with his feet, able to hold possession. And yesterday, when he's playing on the left side, specifically in the second half, you guys saw this, he can be good. He can be good. He can be a progressive dribbler. He can do little 1-2s with Diaz and Darwin. You saw it. In the first half, I forgot Curtis Jones was playing. Now, granted, the first half was awful, but he passes the eye test for me. Curtis Jones does. I feel confident when Curtis Jones has the ball. I don't feel confident when Harvey Elliott has the ball. Hell, I sometimes don't feel confident when Salah has the ball. I mean, it's just a feeling that I have. This is not saying that these players aren't good with the ball. It's just, this is the eye test for me. Like yesterday, when Jarrell Kwanzaa had the ball, I'm like, I'm confident. Soboslai, when he has the ball, I'm like, oh, we're fine. When Diaz has the ball, I'm like 50-50. Like, he's really good, but this is just going on feeling for me. B. Carey, what's up? What else we got in here? Oscar Murphy says, apart from his goal, Gakpo's positioning was so poor, he's nowhere. I want him to contribute much more. And you know, Oscar, true. You know, let's criticize players who deserve to be criticized, right? We are very satisfied with that win yesterday, the second half performance at least. Let's talk about where we need to improve. I love Gakpo. I think he's one of the more talented players on the team for his size. Yesterday wasn't it. Yesterday wasn't it. Now, maybe he just had an off game. You know, he had chances, though. He was given chances in the first half. He headed that ball over the bar, and he had that chance where he opened up his body and kicked it wide. Like, he had chances. He just didn't convert. Is that rust? Because when was the last time Gakpo played in the false nine? Was it the first game of the season? Like, when was the last time he played there? Because Klopp has been playing him in midfield. I don't even think he played there in the first game of the season. I think he started in midfield that game. So, yeah, Gakpo, hopefully, but he scored. He scored yesterday. Now, again, it was a tap in. Created by Salah, by the way. Could just be rust. Could just be rust. I don't know. That's kind of what I'm thinking there. Ryan Johnston's in here. What's going on, Ryan? Aaron says, I think Salah's chasing assists more than goals now. 2 goals, 5 assists in the league so far this year. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Salah, going to being a creator. That's what I like. Mo doesn't get the love if he doesn't score a brace. I agree. He was awesome yesterday. And he absolutely was. You know, by me saying, I want you to know these are exclusive. By me saying I don't feel confident all the time when Salah gets the ball, doesn't mean he wasn't great. Salah had 3 assists yesterday, didn't he? 2 or 3 assists? The first one with his right foot to Gakpo, just fired it across the 6-yard area with that finish. He had the layoff to Harvey Elliott. Trying to think of the other goal. Why is my mind blanking? Oh, Robbo's goal. Yeah. How could I forget Robbo's goal? Amazing there. Mo Salah is almost like a Bobby Firmino type player when it comes to assists. And let me elaborate on that because a lot of you guys are like, "What? What is this guy talking about?" Let me elaborate. Bobby Firmino, for 90% of his Liverpool career, was the most underrated player in the Premier League. Finally, he got his respect. Crap, I don't even know. I think it was honestly after we won the Champions League. It wasn't even the 17-18 season or 18-19 season. It was the next season. It was 1920 where finally analysts, pundits, and fans were all talking about how Bobby Firmino is the engine that runs Liverpool's attack, Liverpool's whole team. Finally, after 3 seasons of him doing that, he got the respect he deserved. Now, Mo Salah, I think we all agree, is the best winger the league has ever seen. Am I wrong? I mean, the stats back it up. The consistency and the form back it up. I mean, you're definitely gonna have fans that say Eden Hazard. That is just, oh, don't get me started there. But where I think he is similar to Bobby Firmino and being underrated is his assist. His ability to assist players. A lot of people see him as just a goal scorer. And to be fair, after the first season where he scored what, 40 something goals, 50 in all comps or something insane like that, you're obviously going to expect him to be a goal scorer. Salah has put up consistent numbers. Consistent assist numbers every year. And this year he's leading the team in assists. It's kind of crazy. It's time Salah gets some respect for that. Because everyone looks at Salah as like Liz is saying, he doesn't get the love if he doesn't score. Salah has become a complete player. An attacking forward, not just a winger. And it's great to see. And that's what I think. He's underrated in that sense. People don't appreciate what he can actually create for the team also. That's where I'm at with Salah. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? I'm going to take a coffee break here while you guys while I read some of your comments here. More, yeah. So this really got to me too. When Elliott scored, jumped 2 barriers to go over and celebrate with the fans. That's exactly what I would do if I scored for the club. You know, that just shows he's a true fan. You know what I mean? It's like when Trent, when we battled back against, was it Newcastle? It must have been Newcastle. Um, when he turned to the fans and he patted his badge and just said, "Let's go, let's go." Same exact thing. It's just pure passion. Like he's not thinking anything else. He doesn't even, he's like, "I scored." No, we scored. That's what he's thinking. We scored. Let me go celebrate with the fans like I'm at the game and we just scored. It's remarkable. Cameron says, the more I watch Salah, the more I think the Saudis can keep their money. I'm going to have to save this for another day because we do have to talk about it. We obviously do. I'm so glad we didn't sell him this year. I never wanted to sell him this summer. But it is something we should talk about. You know the funniest one, B. Carey, is people comparing Saka to Salah. I don't get it. I will never get it. Do I have more respect for Arsenal after watching the All or Nothing? Sure. I have a lot more respect for Mikel Arteta. I like his management style. I really do. But I still hate Arsenal. And more so the fans. Arsenal fans, in my opinion, I know some great Arsenal fans. It's not, I mean, there's obviously exceptions to the rule, but I don't know. I don't know. That documentary did make their fans look really good, though. I will say that. What else we got in here? Gary Richards. Shout out to Gary, man. Salah has gone wider to help Starwin. Starwin, that's a good one. He is the no one striker now. Can I just say to Darwin Nunez, man, I'm actually starting to get a little more confident with him. And I still hold the same exact criticism of him that I do of Harvey Elliott. You have got to get better at your craft. You have to. There are areas where you're deficient and you need to become efficient. For Darwin, it is ball control, clinicalness, if that's even a word, and dribbling, just general dribbling skill. Darwin yesterday held the ball up beautifully for what goal was it? Was it the final goal or was it just a chance created? He held the ball up, turned, I don't know if it was Kilman or Lamina, I can't remember who he turned, held him up, turned his ass, put him on the turf and just kept dribbling. And that's what I need to see from Darwin because if you're going to be an out and out striker, you need to be but if you're going to play in this side, you need to be able to hold up play. You need to be strong. You need to finish, but you also need to come deep when necessary. And I saw it all in that play. So I just want to say that. Ross, what's good, man? How you doing? As long as it was as long it was 0-1, I knew we would win. And that sucked donkey balls. Jesus, man. There's kids here. Ross, how did you feel about the game overall yesterday? Shayna, what's up? Fakito, what's going on? Happy Sunday. You're late. It's okay. You can still watch it back, guys. It's okay. We go live once a week. I know it's tough, but I'm trying to I want to start doing more live stuff because I feel like you guys enjoy it more. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it allows you guys to get involved as well. So, um Aaron says we'll not have many early Saturday kickoffs due to being in the Europa League. Well, hey, that's fine. That's fine. I'm here for it. I hate the early kickoffs. I absolutely hate them. But Europa League is actually coming up this Thursday, and I'm absolutely pumped for it. Okay, I'm pumped. I don't care what anyone says. Last year, everyone hates being in the Europa League. I don't. It's Europe. How can you hate being in Europe? I don't care if we're playing some third division side from Bulgaria. I don't care. We're playing in Europe under the lights. That's awesome. Who doesn't like playing under the lights? You remember when you were a kid? Most of your games are like early on a Saturday morning, right? Or just during the day. Do you remember your first game of any sport playing under the lights or even at night? How awesome that is? You feel like a professional. It's awesome. Not to mention traveling to play. How do you not love it? How do you not love the spirit of this sport? Doesn't matter if you're playing Madrid at Anfield or if you're playing LAOSK or whoever the hell is in our group. I don't even know. It doesn't matter. Oh, man, it's crazy. Oh, yeah, no, Ross, that first half was brutal. But standout player, Jarrell Kwanzaa. Another thing I want to talk about with Kwanzaa. The vision this kid has. He was switching the ball just like Soboslai was. He had like 3 diagonal passes over to Robertson and Diogo Jota that were just butter. I mean, Oh, I love this kid already. When you show me your and too bad he cramped up, but when you show me your debut and you perform like that, you got my vote. You should have everybody's vote. That was incredible. Thursday night are Ben Doak nights. Let's go. Dude, Ben Doak. That kid, man. We have some good young talent. Don't forget, guys, if you are new, subscribe to the channel, like the stream if you're getting something out of this type of content. Just want to let you guys all know I appreciate all you guys, especially our channel members. You guys keep the channel going. And I think this performance ultimately just shows what this team is capable of because what were we lacking last year when we lose to Burnley, to Wolves, to Nottingham Forest, to Bournemouth, to all these teams that we're not supposed to lose to? What did we lack? You guys can let me know. It's not a rhetorical question. Well, I mean, it kind of is, but I have an opinion. What did we lack? We went down and we could not fight back. We didn't come back. Is it a good thing to play from behind? I've said it before. No. I hate it. But the fact that we're able to battle back shows the mental fortitude that this team has now. There's no exhaustion, right? Maybe that was the problem. Maybe it was we had tired legs, like everyone was saying. Maybe it was we needed this fresh blood, these fresh people, these fresh legs in to really go to work and just battle the entire game. And we've seen it almost every game. It seems like we're playing from behind almost, but winning. But winning. Steve is he's on a little trip with his wife. So everyone needs a day off, you know what I mean? And who doesn't want to spend time with their family? So shout out to Steve. We miss you, Steve, but I know you're having fun. It's all good. I'll hold down the fort. Not a big deal. Everyone just has to listen to me talk for 45 minutes or an hour. It's okay. The wedding is 48 days away. How about that? How about that? Oswald says we lacked energy in midfield. I think we lacked energy in the first half, but the second half, phenomenal. I think everything in the second half was just beautiful. Sir Oswald says I would sell Thiago in January and replace him with Lavia. Dude, what is going on with Chelsea? Well, actually, let me say that again. What is going on with Chelsea? I wish Steve was here, dude. God, I wish Steve was here. The stupidest business. I'm not just talking about Casado not making the squad. I'm talking about everything. That organization doesn't know what they're doing. They should still have Thomas Tuchel as their manager. They should. Why was he fired? There's no continuity at the club. And then you're going to clean house and spend $1 billion on players that have no chemistry and expect to compete in the best league in the world? You don't know what you're doing. It doesn't even matter about the money. That's besides the point. It's the fact that this owner thinks that you can come in and spend that amount of money, clean house, and expect new players to develop enough chemistry to compete in the best league in the world. That is short-sighted and naive and ignorant. You need continuity. If it's not with the manager, it's with the players. And they screwed up in both aspects. They got a new manager and they cleaned house. It doesn't compute. You can spend as much money as you'd like. But in my opinion, if you're going to spend that amount of money, you need some sort of base. You need to have a foundation to build from if you want any sort of success. I mean, guys, you got to have some sort of chemistry. Pochettino's going to be fired in 6 months if he doesn't turn it around. Hannah, have a good day. Thanks for being here. It's just insane to me, guys, what Chelsea are doing. It's insane. But at the end of the day, Liverpool sit third. Man City are just going to be tough to stop, guys. I wouldn't expect us to win the league this year, but we're definitely going to be in the race. I mean, we're playing well. We have a good team. We're doing much better and we're playing much better than I expected. And that's because I didn't expect the team to have as much chemistry as it does. I feel like the team is really well put together. I mean, we have the attacking chemistry. The midfield is building it. Defensively, we still have it. I didn't expect it to go as well as it's going. Now, of course, are there things that could be better? Absolutely. Starting with starts of the game. It's got to be better. Regardless, I enjoyed what I saw yesterday in the second half. And in the first half, I enjoyed what I saw from Jarrell Kwanzaa. This team is capable of anything. We have Jurgen Klopp and we have the talent. We have proper footballers, dude. You just got to put it together. You got to battle. You got to be organized from kickoff. And so that's where I'm at. What do you guys think? Bring Frank Lampard back in? I'm all for it. City Poulaire is back again. Hey, look at Tottenham, guys. How about Tottenham? I didn't expect that. But Ross, here's the thing about Chelsea. And we're at the point in the show where we're just going to chat for a minute here. Dude, Chelsea fire managers after successful seasons because a better manager becomes available. And Steven has said this 100,000 times. Why would any manager go to Chelsea? Like, seeing their track record, they must be telling these managers, hey, be the one to stick around for 5 years. You can do it. We'll give you everything you need. All you got to do is win, and you'll stick around. And they're like, I can do it. I want to be the one. It's never been like that. Who was the last manager to do it? Jose Mourinho? How long was he there? 4 years? And then he came back again? How long was he there? It's not a matter of Pochettino not being a good manager. It's not a matter of Graham Potter not being a good manager. The only one we can say it is Frank Lampard, not a good manager. Thomas Tuchel won a Champions League and was fired. Why? What do you think you're going to do? And you bring in Graham Potter. What? Because he had a good season with Brighton? Graham Potter was awful with Chelsea. And it's not him. It's the support and the situation he was brought into. Now, clearly we've seen with the players that Chelsea have signed that these managers are getting a lot more money. which will motivate anybody. Rightly so. Understandable. My point is, would you take a job knowing you're going to be fired in a year? Would you? I don't know if I would. If I knew there was like a legit 75% chance I'll be fired. Even if I won something, I'm not going there. No chance I'm going there. Inglese says Bowley needs to delegate more. Yeah, sure. Dude, I don't if Klopp had proper funding, it would be insane. It'd be absolutely insane. Guys, to sum up everything here, the win yesterday shows what we're capable of doing this year. And that's battling back in games that we're down. What it also showed is that we need to come out with more energy and more determination in the first half because we cannot play from behind. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. If we can fix that, we're going to be the second hardest team to beat in the Premier League this year. That's how it is, guys. Oyvind says, how many millions do you get paid for being fired? That's a great question because they have to you're technically getting bought out, right? Or not bought out, but when you get fired, you get paid a lump sum. So I guess it's a win-win. I don't know. I don't know. I can't work under those conditions. In the sense that I know that there's a chance I'm going to be fired in the public sphere, and the team I have has no chemistry, and I don't know. I don't know if I could work under those conditions. But guys, look, I appreciate y'all being here. It's a great win yesterday for team morale, for the young guys that came in and played. And I'm looking forward to Europa League football, guys. We will be doing a watch along on it. Okay. Watch along, match preview. Of course, for our channel members, we'll have our starting 11 prediction show. So be on the lookout for that. I'm excited. It's going to be a good week ahead, guys. I appreciate everyone tuning in this morning. If you haven't already, like the stream, helps push it out to more Liverpool fans. And until next time, guys, take care.